Hello, New York. We are looking at the MTA building being dismantled on Madison Avenue between 44th and 45th. They're dropping this building and they're going to, Boston Properties is going to build a new office building here. Whether they begin construction anytime soon, though, is somewhat up for conjecture, I guess is a good way of saying it. I don't know whether they're ready to proceed because I don't know whether they have their financing lined up to build the building, to pay for the construction costs. And it may be that they need to secure for themselves an anchor tenant who will commit to leasing a quarter or a third of the building prior to commencing construction. However, as you can tell from One Vanderbilt, which is just a few blocks to the south, that building is essentially 100% leased. And they got rents starting in sort of like the 150 a foot range, going up to over $300 a foot. And so there's definitely a market for new office buildings and space for those buildings, but the demand is somewhat muted right now. We're kind of in an uncertain time here in the middle of December, end of December. But buildings that are located on top of transit, like the one right there is the MTA, will have direct access into Grand Central from that site. The building behind it, 335 Madison, which was formerly a hotel, now an office building, that's a full block. That will also eventually be turned into a new office building. They'll take that down and put up a new one at some point. And then here, the former Roosevelt Hotel, which has been closed since the pandemic, that is a full block site from 46th to 45th, from Madison to Vanderbilt. And it's not particularly beautiful. It does not have any, redeeming architectural elements that would, suggest that you should keep that in the land market. So that building should come down. Here, Bear Stearns put up a new building, and it's got direct access into Grand Central, and the JP Morgan Chase building there, which is going up rather quickly, will also have direct access to transit. So, new buildings without columns that are efficient, that have floor-to-ceiling glass, modern heating and air conditioning, cooling systems. Those buildings are sought after and tenants are leasing them. And there's no doubt that there's demand for them. However, right now, with demand being muted, it's sort of hard to swallow hard and proceed with construction of a building on spec without an anchor tenant. That's a difficult thing to do. So we'll see what happens on that MTA site. Boston Properties will finish demolishing the buildings that are there. They'll get their foundations in. They'll build their access to the transit. But they will probably wait to proceed with construction until they have an anchor tenant in hand, in place, who will commit long term. Now, as we look up the block here, we're at 47th Street. The next block up at 48th Street is the site of the former 415 Madison Avenue, built by the Rudin family. Rudin Management is the company's name. And that building is almost gone. They have proceeded very quickly with the demolition of that building. But as of last week, they've said that they haven't made a firm commitment as to when they will proceed with construction. That building has small floors, it's a small site. So they will not get an anchor tenant prior to commencing construction just because of the nature of the building and the size of the floors. It wouldn't make sense for a company to take 10 small floors. So for them, when they decide to go up, they're going to go up completely on spec. But that building is just about down. I can't see anything left of it. They're, I think, required to complete their demolition by the end of this month, December 2022, to comply with agreements with the MTA. It looks like they've hit their target. I think they were a little concerned about it, but it looks like they've done it. So that's pretty cool. We can see it from here, actually, as we move up. So, lots going on in New York. Yeah, there's like one floor left. Look at that. They got one floor remaining that you can see through that little curtain there. And that's it. They'll knock that down in the next few days, and they'll be done. So that's cool. Good for you guys, Rudin. Rudin Management, those are the good guys, the good girls in business. They're great people to do business with. So, lots going on in this corridor. It's called Midtown East, where there was zoning changes made to encourage the development of new office buildings and office spaces, because the building stock in this area is some of the oldest in any major city in the world. So all of this is needed badly, even though there's sort of a muted demand period right now for office space. Thinking long term, that's a smart thing to do. All right, well, that's the narrative for today. I don't know if that was interesting. I hope it was. If you want to learn about office space, office buildings, how to use real estate to advance your company's mission and save yourself some money, that's what I do. So reach out. Have a great day. Bye-bye.